Dream is a liar. It's much worse than you think.
So, there's this whole controversy again with Dream, and I think it's about time that I finally say something because this has been bugging me for a very long time. He has a very consistent trend where he impulsively tweets or posts something or makes a statement. It's getting to the point where it's like just annoying, and I can't take it anymore. And I know that the only way that I can get to him and like actually reach out is to make a video criticizing him, because that's the only way he responds. Because I've seen people tweeting and replying to him that he needs to just take a step back, but obviously he's not going to be able to read all that stuff. So today, as I'm recording this, he released his animation of Mask. It just felt more like a sort of a teen girl bait more than anything. Like, oh yeah, guys, I'm relatable too. I also do the struggle, and I do the depression as well. I'm not saying that he hasn't gone through depression or anxiety or anything like that. If this is like a genuine song and that came from the heart or whatever, that's great. It doesn't come off that way is the problem. The main issue that I feel like Dream has is that he doesn't realize how things can be perceived from another perspective. He just thinks about how he sees it and what he thinks. And I think he's said things similar to that before in like interviews, or he's mentioned multiple times that he recognizes that he has these, like, he gets defensive immediately, and there's like so many different clips that I could show where he immediately gets defensive.
Stated that rejecting his 1.15 run after 11 months was dumb, but he also says it was understandable.
So what's... I mean, I feel like this one, I don't even understand half the criticism. Like, I took a jab. That's not a jab at the mod team. That's just me. How is that? That's me sharing my feelings. How is that? I don't understand.
Dream's apology begs us all to move on from the drama, and
that's phrased in a bad way, to be fair. That's phrased in a negative way. I mean, this drama's been for 11 months almost. Come on now. Come on. I feel like that's a very reasonable thing to be like, let's just, there's been so much drama involving it. Let's move on.
And then like when he actually processes the statement, he realizes that it's stupid to say that he doesn't agree with it because it's a valid point.
I did not do that. That is not something that ever was done. And that's just ridiculous to me. That's I don't know. He's like phrasing it that way. It's like, no. Yeah, that would be ridiculous. I agree. This person, again, do not send any hate. I agree with them. I agree. If that was the case, that would be absolutely ridiculous.
So the whole cheating controversy, I was writing a script for it, but I ended up just kind of putting it on hold because of the statement that he made in his stream shortly after all of it went down.
I still have a lot to learn as a creator, and like I said, I'm sorry for it, and I'm sorry that I was an asshole. I shouldn't have been an asshole. I need to get better at controlling my emotions when I'm mad.
Obviously I'm biased because I'm a Dream fan, but it sounds really genuine when he's apologizing in his streams. It doesn't sound like he's trying to be manipulative or sympathy baiting. It's just over Twitter and through text, I don't think he understands how manipulative it comes off to certain people just because of how it's written. Like, you may not intend for it to be that way, but it's very easy to perceive it that way.
But he claims to not understand how it was affecting his game, and it was an accident that he used it in his run? That's not remotely believable.
How?
Dream comes across as attempting to muddy the waters and deflect blame to the modder for his own mistake.
Okay, I didn't name the modder. I didn't say it's the modder's fault. I didn't say anything at all. I just explained. Since when is explaining yourself being manipulative? Since when is explaining yourself deflecting blame?
It's very easy to think that it could be taken a wrong way. That may not have been your intent, it may not be true, but it's how people can take it. He said he doesn't give a shit about what anybody else thinks, or he just cares about being right in the moment.
I'll be honest, I didn't. I'll be honest. At that point, I did not. That was shitty of me, but I didn't. I cared more about the fact that I felt like at the time I was being slandered and, drugged through the mud for no reason.
And that is something that he needs to work on. And this whole thing, I mean, it's not as big of a deal. It's showing a trend, and it's showing that this is still happening today. I thought he was over this, and then this happened, and it showed me that he still has this issue, and he needs to figure something out. He needs to not impulsively say shit on Twitter. He needs to just take a couple hours, vent with friends. There's like so many different things that he could do to not say stupid shit on the internet. There was this clip where he was watching Donkey's video and he got all defensive, even though it was very clearly a joke.
Then Dream put out a video proving, and notice how proving is in quotation marks there. He put out a video proving he didn't cheat. So then the whole internet flipped to being back on Dream's side. So I had...
Yes, the entire internet flipped to being on my side. It wasn't like there was not a single video ever made in support other than my video, and there wasn't like 10 videos made against.
Which he claims, he gets really defensive. But it's whatever, people can think what they want.
I don't care. I'm moving on. And if somebody doesn't want to move on, they don't want to move on, who the fuck cares? Anyway.
I don't think he thinks that way, and he just says that he thinks that way. I think he does care, which there is nothing wrong with. There is nothing wrong with caring what other people have to say or saying negative things about you or whatever, but it's something that you're going to have to deal with, and I know that it's hard. The fact that you basically blew up overnight, and it's just, I can only imagine how overwhelming that would be. But the thing is that you have that audience now. It's what you've been saying you wanted. You think through certain issues. Like, I think your stance on not bringing attention to the shitty side of the fandom is really fair. And I also think it's really mature for you to recognize you have these issues of being impulsive and immediately being defensive, but the problem is that you're not really actively trying to change that, which is concerning. Most of the time, the reason you get under fire is because you say stupid shit on Twitter. Like, honestly, that's all it is. That's all it boils down to. Is you say stupid shit on Twitter, and then people rightfully give you shit for it. Like me, the reason I'm making this video is because I want you to get better as a person. It's very obvious to me with the people you surround yourself with and your ideology and how you think. You're a good person, but you need to stop saying stupid fucking shit. Like, it's pissing me off now. I've been a fan of yours for like at least a year now. I was around before your first manhunt, and seeing you're still like doing this stupid impulsive shit, it hurts my head. I want you to get better. I don't think you deserve the backlash that you're getting, but you're going to get that backlash is the problem. Like, half the shit you say is not a big deal to me, and it's not a big deal to your fans, obviously, but you clearly care about those other people. For the stands part, I think you have been handling it so much better over the past couple months. I think it's really good that you're putting the hammer down. I think it's good that you're obviously against racism. Like, wow, Dream, you're so unique. Like, but I'm actually, that's good. I think that's good that you just said, like, fuck you if you're racist. That's great. That's the type of shit I want you to be posting. Like, that's good. That's good, honestly. I mean, you clearly know this because you mostly talk to your fan base about this, but it's clear, like, someone who doesn't watch you won't be as open to what you have to say, especially if it's on your private account where, like, people who idolize you are only on. Just don't say stupid shit. Like, The reason you're in this trouble right now is because you said something fucking stupid impulsively, and that's what happened every single other time you got into any controversy. Like, nobody gives a shit whether you cheated or not. Like, honestly, nobody cares. Not the haters, not fans. Really, honestly, we don't care. Because it's like, it's whatever. It's literally fucking whatever. But the problem is that you responded how you did. And like, you kept saying that, oh no, that isn't true, that's false. And it was taken out of context, but it can be perceived that way is the thing. The way you wrote your response for all that was really, it came off as passive aggressive. And I'm sure if you like really read through it with a cynical eye, you can see that it could very well come off as passive aggressive. And I think you're not realizing, you just think about how you see it. You really need to try and put yourself in other people's shoes before you post, especially if it's like the heat of the moment sort of shit. I also want to talk a little bit about how you interact with fans, how like you say like I love you and you know whatever. Of course there's the kitten thing which you memed about too. I'm sure, like honestly, that you genuinely do love each of your fans. And obviously you've mentioned not like a family or a close friend or anything like that, but I believe you are genuinely thankful for what you've been given from these people, and I believe that you don't see these people as dollar signs, like you said with the whole football analogy.
Even because what always seems strange to me is like you have like the coin, right? And that like as part of your merch, and that never really like I was like that's so strange to me, like from where I come from on YouTube, that never like I think I even mentioned it even maybe in yesterday's stream. I was like, it seems so strange to me because it almost seems like selling your success. But now that you just talked about it, how you view sports this way, that makes way more sense to me because it's like,
well, yeah, but
sports,
also
it's almost
like
performance and ability is kind of like what people look at in sports more so than like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm off base with that.
But I say with the coin, like to me, and this maybe you'll understand the coin a little bit more. To me, this is the reason I did the coin, 100% genuine. Like almost every YouTuber releases milestone merchandise. Almost every YouTuber that I've seen on YouTube releases merchandise where they have like a T-shirt for 10 million, 5 million, whatever. Like the big YouTubers, you know, like they've always everyone's done that, and I was doing that. But then when I was doing that, I was realizing it's expensive as hell. Like you get a $35 plus shipping plus whatever hoodie that has 10 mil on it, and I was like, I want people to be able to, if they want to celebrate milestones, because like a lot of the big reasons of getting a milestone hoodie or whatever is because you want to be able to, it's obviously it's cool, and you can be like, I was there at 10 million, I was there at 12 million, whatever it is. And so with the coin, I was like, it's just a cheaper alternative of that.
But you can understand how it can be perceived that way. Saying I love yous or like shit like that, hearts, whatever, is pretty cringe. It comes off as very disingenuous, especially with how often you do that. There are other ways that you can interact with your community, because as far as I've seen, you haven't really directly talked about like fan art or fan works or any sort of projects that have to do with you that you didn't directly work with, and maybe you don't have, I don't know. I couldn't even speculate why that isn't a thing. Like, you said in your Anthony Padilla interview that you appreciated the fan art, but you don't really go out of your way to really like or say anything about it. You should probably consider different ways of interacting with fans that don't involve direct contact or Twitter. In my honest opinion, I think you should go the PewDiePie route and make a Reddit, and like maybe once a week or something you go through and you just see all the stuff that people are posting, post it on your alt account, something like that, to be more interactive. And I feel like that'll come off as a lot more genuine when you're interacting with fans. because it's more one-to-one instead of just saying, oh, I love you, and then that's it. The more you say it, the less genuine it comes off, and the more, like, manipulative it comes off. Like, that's not your intent, and I know, like, you're probably saying that stuff because you're thinking about it, but there are just other ways that you can show affection. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Don't do a face reveal until your popularity cools down. Just straight up, don't do it. Do not fucking do it. I am literally begging you, because you do not understand the crazy motherfuckers that would do anything to get their hands on you. They're filthy fucking mitts. I am extremely concerned with you being as popular as you are right now. People knowing what you look like and just stalking you, just like following you home. With the whole meet and greet thing, I think it's a good idea in theory, but you said there's a small percentage that is toxic or, like, you know, psycho. But I mean, like, one is way too many. If they're that obsessed in that, because there's a difference between stans and fans. There is a big difference between stans and fans, and I think it's really ignorant for you to say that a stan is just somebody who's really, really interested in something, because that's not true. A stan is literally a stalker fan, like someone who stalks your every single fucking move, and, like, refreshes your page, your Twitter, your, like, whatever social media. They know all of your alts, they know all this shit about you. Some of these people have a if I can't have you, nobody can mentality. Like, that's happened multiple times, where a fucking psycho fan just comes out and kills a celebrity just because they can't have them. It's not... Right now, I think it would be a really bad idea to do a face reveal anytime soon, just because you're at the height of your career right now. That's when it's the most dangerous to be meeting with your fans. I'm more concerned about your well-being, and I don't know if you're really thinking about that. You're just thinking about... Because yes, the majority will be a very positive experience, but you know, someone will shit in the swimming pool. You know what I mean? Like, there's no telling for sure that it'll be a 100% positive experience, and I think at the very least, please have some sort of security if you do a meet and greet. Like, I'm not like, this sounds like a meme, but I'm not joking. Please have some sort of security if you do a meet and greet, because you never know. Like, these are complete strangers. You never know what's going on in their head. I think just stay off of Twitter, just altogether, honestly. If you really want to go on Twitter, before you post anything, please vent to your friends and ask them what you should say. Probably not Quackity or George. Bad is probably the best option to go to talk about that. I hope this does something to kind of give you insight from one of your kittens, with a more critical eye, and doesn't just, you know, drop to my knees and suck you off, because I do really appreciate you and I love you and your content, but you're so fucking stupid sometimes. Like, just straight up, you're so fucking stupid, and it makes me want to pull my hair out. Just please think about what you're saying before you say it, for the love of God, and do not stream your reaction to criticism videos, because it makes you look like an idiot, okay? Okay. Alright. That's all I have to say.